there was also, was supposed to borrow again
Oh, yes.
18 trillion naira. What are your thoughts concerning that?
It's unfortunate that we have embarked on a borrowing as if it's a way of life, which it ought not to be. You see, borrowing 13 trillion to support 2025 budgets, I don't think is a terrain that we should embark upon, because this particular money we are looking at, that 13 trillion as the case may be, can be, generated within. If we are sincere about fighting corruption, there are people we can collect this huge sum from. If you look at from the successive government, the government of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan to former President Muhammad Buhari, yes. PMB, we have had people that have worked with those governments and recovered trillions of naira. One of them is Abdulrashid Maina. You understand? Under Jonathan, he recovered trillions. Under President Muhammad Buhari, he recovered, which both the then finance minister, Kojiwal, attested at the National Assembly. Same with former Attorney General Malami, also attested under Buhari regime. So, and you have such persons languishing in Kuje, as the case may be. Some of the things they levied against it, which to me, as a comrade, I find it funny. Because a well-thinking Nigeria will look at it holistically. Yeah. If somebody recovered trillions for you and he has a percentage, a 5% commission you are expected to give him, and you are claiming, and that those percentage runs in tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions, and you are claiming that accusing him of stealing 2.1 billion, it doesn't make sense. Yes. You understand? It looks like a smoke screen. You understand? Then you look at Okon Obla, who also worked in President Muhammad Buhari's regime, who made attempts to recover a lot of things. In one of his recent interview this year, he lamented on how the former Attorney General almost make mockery of his efforts when he met the wife and said, I think your husband said that he wants to help Nigeria to recover over $65 billion, which you translate to Naira is into that trillions we are talking about. You understand? So there are individuals that if you put the heads together, forget about what people are saying. Target it. Those money we are borrowing that subjecting the future of our even unborn children to perpetual or digital slavery, because that's what it is. You understand? If when you are you owe a debt that you are not unable to pay, you are perpetually dependent on those people. You understand? Whenever they sneeze, you catch cold. You understand? So for us to move forward, we should look away from those things and see how we can manage inward whatever we have. Use what we earn. You understand? If you look at all the revenue generating firms or agencies, the report they have given in 2024 shows that they are growing. They are improving. Why don't we look inward? Then some of the extravagant spendings that we have seen with the recent administration, we can cut them down. Creation of extra money earlier this year. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu announced that he will be considering implementing Rusaye's report.
Yes.
You understand? Yes, he gave a timeline of 6 weeks. The same year he mentioned about Rusaye's report, he created extra ministries. You understand? Yes. So some of these things we can look inward and see how we can cut it. Yes. They normally say cut your clothes or material according to what you have. You understand? If we can look inward, we can actually do that. Today, in terms of energy sector, we are beginning to sustain ourselves gradually with the coming on stream of Dangote refineries and NPC Port Harcourt, even though that they have done us many times, the more you look, less you see. You understand? But they are giving us impression that the thing is working now. Yes. And with another impression, because I will not call it a promise again, that both the second phase in Port Harcourt, Warri and Kaduna may come up next year. And we have other private ones like Bua and other modular refineries that is expected to. So it appears like in energy sector, we are beginning to come up with reliance, not depending on importation and what have you. So if we have achieved in that area, and we have seen efforts made in local government autonomy, which I believe is a fantastic job this administration and the Attorney General have done. You understand? If they can look at how they can because there are plenty rooms in that judgment Supreme Court gave. If they can see how they can expand, cover those rooms. What do I mean by that? Stop state government from conducting or organizing elections. Let it be centralized, just like we have it with INEC. So that this one-party system we are seeing and abuse of power, impunity, or what have you, that we see in those states, will stop. You can see credible people coming on board. It will no longer be whoever the governor likes, whether he has the capacity or not. We saw such a thing play out in Anambra. A local government chairman this year that was elected was arrested in US for money laundering. You see how embarrassing such situation can be. You understand? But if you throw such a thing open, you understand, and people have confidence that anybody that goes into the pool, irrespective of the party affiliation, can succeed, you will see bright minds coming up.
Yes.
It will not be people you can subject to your whims and caprices. We understand that even the same Anambra used as a case study, that the State Assembly enacted a law that makes it mandatory that within 4 days you receive a allocation as a local government chairman. You need to remit it to what they claim is a combined development fund. And what you remit there is both 70% of whatever that was sent to you. Is it not almost somebody who sells a dog and buy a monkey?
I think I have to interpret that. Is that right, Comrade Kachi?
It has been a very turbulent and hectic year, for us that are in the civil society, that are doing comradeship activities or activism. It has been a very turbulent and hectic year in the sense that most of our comrades, we are roughly incarcerated. There were suppressions, that undermine some of the progress and development that one can, credit this current administration, So personally, it has not been a wonderful to say, you understand? But in a general overview, I think if you are to judge with your other administrations in their first 18 or 19 months, as the case may be, you will give the kind of thumbs up, irrespective of the economic hardship we are facing.
Interesting. And how has this year been for you?
Thinking in line with your idea that if we tax ourselves properly and pay our taxes as it should be and conduct tax system the way it should, maybe we'll have more than enough money.
Well, I have a different view with regards to the tax reforms. If you look at those tax reforms on paper, they are an excellent piece of work that you cannot easily, debate or compete about it. But then, you look at antecedents where we are coming from and where we are headed, and the environment we have, the structures we have, you come to reality. You don't need anybody so say to tell that what is on paper is not what we translate in reality.
How do you mean?
On paper, we are told that before the removal of fuel subsidy, that it's only the rich that benefit from it. Those who have vehicles. You understand? Removal of fuel subsidy will make, just like even we saw the media chat of our president saying that he has a friend that has limousine. Today he drives a Honda. You understand? But the reality today is that removal of fuel subsidy affects even the poorest of the poor. It affects almost everything about us. So it's not only the issue of the rich. Even the rich, the gap between the rich and the poor even widened, because by that removal, the rich find a way of making more money. You talk about naira devaluation or flotation or whatever you call it. The impression we are giving that market forces and all those grammar they blow, the reality is not what we are seeing today. You talk about PIB, PIA, or Petroleum Industrial Bill or Act or something like that. You understand? The impression we are giving is not what we are seeing today. Now, you are talking about reforms, tax reforms. In tax reforms, we are told that there was an already poor. It's the rich that will pay higher if you are earning above 1 million and above, and so on and so forth. I just look at it, I laugh, I marvel. Currently now, whatever you are buying or using, you are paying over 7.5 VAT on it. Say, for example, you buy a bottle of mineral.
7.5% tax.
Yes, in fact, yes, value tax.
Yes.
For example, if you purchase a recharge card of 100 naira, you understand? You are paying over 7 naira, 50 kobo, knowingly or unknowingly. You understand? Now, the proposed tax is talking about moving it to 10%. From 10% in subsequent years, it gets to 15%, and so on and so forth. So, those people you say you're exonerating, are they not going to be paying that at the end of the day? Is there any market different for any poorest of the poor that you go to market, you say, I'm a poor man, I'm earning less than 1 million naira per annum, therefore, the VAT that I'm supposed to add to that recharge card I'm supposed to buy, remove it for me.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So, you see that it's just like a 6.5 a dozen. You understand? It's neither here nor there. To me, it's not the best time to do it. Nigerians are already suffering. Don't need to add more to their pain. We saw what happened in this month of December. People struggling to just get rice, and they are dying in numbers. That's to tell you the realities on ground. Let's get to a point that some of the promises you made, and which you have informed us that we are no longer suffering.
The problem is the timing.
Timing, one.
Okay.
Sincerity, two. Let us even begin to see the ones you have implemented.
Yeah.
The promises you made there that they are
But
working.
if you're talking about timing, isn't it proper that what the government is doing, allowing those bills to go through public hearing, where people like you who also appear and say,
Yes.
you have said now,
Yes.
and I think we should also let it go through those processes. And see.
The processes we have technically embarked upon is because voices of opposition to it we are on the increase. And that is where I give the current administration, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, thumbs up, because he's a listening president. He's not like the former president, immediate past president. You understand? That once he made up his mind to do something, he may not be backing out. But the current president, if you raise valid points, that's superior to whatever he's presenting, he backs down.
Or looks superior to whatever
He will look superior to whatever he's presenting. You understand? He finds a way to navigate. You understand? You saw the way he navigated when he was presenting the budget for this year.
Yeah.
When he mistakenly addressed them as 11th, and as a smart guy he is.
Which we learned was actually what was on the script.
Whether it's on the script or not, but you saw the intelligence played there.
Yeah.
How he smartly make it look like he has prophesied.
You're all elected.
You understand? So I think it's one of the ways I give him thumbs up.
Yeah.
You understand? Now that we have embarked on consultation, you understand? Just like the way they consulted for Petro Industrial Act, that took years. That is what I expected.
Okay.
Yes, it's not something that you should do like a rocket science, that it must be now and now and now. Just like you saw the student loan that he implemented this year. It took years.
Okay.
Even when it was ascended by the previous, isn't that ascended to
the student loan scheme?
You understand? But it took over 3-4 years when Baja, the current chief of staff, was the speaker. When they sponsored that bill. You understand? It took time. I think such is expected.
Okay. Well, I don't think it's also in so much a hurry. But then, let's see what happens.
It appears so, because if you watch the media chat, you understand? The body language.
Yeah, okay.
It shows that if he wants his, in fact, he's supposed to commence yesterday.
It has to better the economy. But I'm sure it's
not. No, to you understand? Mainly, especially people that would advocate for the government will tell you that it's to better the economy. But to me, as a comrade, personally, I see it as a way to generate fund. He needs fund as wherever he can get it.
It's also a positive thing.
Okay, I want our listeners to know that our phone lines are still open. Please call us on 0810-885-1189. Once again, that number is 0810. 2 words on it.
I'm trying to make it as less as I can. So summit in O level. There are pass marks. There are marks you will score, you get credit. There are ones you score, you get E. Let my people go.
Okay.
It will be very, very wicked to put our present administration in F. Okay. So, but what we have now is E.
Is E?
Yes.
Wow. E.
Yes, let my people go. Because the reality on ground is showing that.
Okay. But do you think there's a possibility
Oh yes.
at E
Oh yes.
to get to D and C?
Yes.
Instead of going to F?
No. I don't see us going to F. I don't see us going to F
Okay,
because
okay.
I don't see. It's not possible that we go to F.
Okay.
Judging from realities today, the realities have shown that, for example, in this month of December, we have seen that the month of December, you see the president, the administration reducing the price of fuel.
Okay.
From 1,014 naira or 1,006, as the case may be, to 9 something.
Yes.
You understand? It's a positive signal telling you that the future looks bright.
Yes.
You understand? You have seen dollar to naira from 1,750 or as the case may be, coming down to less than 1,600. You understand? It shows there are chances of getting to even D or C in terms of ranking.
Yeah.
From me.
Yes.
You know, I watched our president when he was asked to rate himself. He rated himself very well. You know, which to me I laugh. Say that even in our own Africa, they say that Agama lizard fall down from a tree. He look up, nobody clap for him. He said, "Man, you know, he should not said that he really actually tried." And not everybody will jump from that height and survive it.
All right. Anaya, what would you score this administration?
Well, I'm not an economic expert, but like I said, there are signs that 2025, and I have said it without fear of contradiction, that 2025 to try and get it corrected.
To actually acknowledge that
yes.
They have really part of the things they anticipated is not what they are seeing.
Yeah, but of course, in governance.
Well, a lot of the anticipation is going into next year. I think that's what the president has been trying to communicate throughout this year. That look, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Like this year, he's using this year to lay the groundwork and get things in place, and then next year we're going to see those things take root.
No, you know, one of the things, even I would have given an F, but I just tried to be magnanimous because if you look at 2023,
yes,
before he announced on May 29 removal of fuel subsidy,
yes,
we were given the impression that Dangote refinery will come on stream by that June, that 2023.
Absolutely, yes.
The same 2023, around October or November, we saw test running of Port Harcourt refinery. You understand? There are a lot of, just like this about life is just being hopeful. Try not to die. You understand? You will certainly get where you are going. But if you look at antecedents, expectations of Nigerians, expectations sometimes we look at within certain months. Some of the impressions they give us, they will come to be. But at the end of it, you will not see like NNPC here that have given us shifted it for over 7 times. You understand, with regards to commencement. So if you use that yardstick to look at it, you know that even that 2025, we don't know how it will be.
Yes.
But we are being hopeful.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I said we're being hopeful. And we talked about body language. We also have noticed that the body language of the economic planners of Mr. President changed. You know,
they were adjusting.
They are now more sure-footed.
Yes.
They are more confident. Unlike when they began, they were a little bit jittery. So that should also show signs that maybe in their thinking, better.
And I think the reshufflement helped the administration to project the image, because if you watch when they were jittery, we were having a conflicting statements coming out from the authorities. You know, when we have Ajulere in Ngelale and Bayo Nanoga, and even Minister for Information, one we say another thing, another we kind of contradict it. But now it appears like it's a coordinated
generality.
You understand? So that will help the government to move forward, and that will possibly grow the confidence and trust, which is lacking and insufficient now.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that, comrade. Our listeners, once again, please call us in and let us know what would you score this current administration as regards to the economy.
You know, at the beginning of the year, around December last year to January 2024, there were series of meetings in Abuja here by head of states, the ECOWAS countries.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you saw the chairman, who is our beloved president, making giving body or languages that they may consider military intervention. To force back democracy in those countries, especially in Niger.
I think the encouragement came from Ghana.
You understand?
They push.
You understand? So I think if we had managed the situation well, probably they will not be setting up their own association. You understand? Now, you saw the way they handled the Kemi Badnoch comment. It's not the best way to handle it. Under President Mohamed Buhari, the former Prime Minister of the UK, I think David Cameron, one of his meetings with the then Queen, late Queen, addressed us as a fantastically corrupt nation. And you saw the response of the president then. I must say maybe his response was geared towards his experience as having been former head of state. That's what the way I see it. Because the way he reacted, he wasn't demanding apology from anybody, wasn't ready to do banters with anybody. But rather, he wanted to concentrate on recovery.
So he didn't react.
You understand? But this situation we find ourselves with our own Kemi, because of what she said, that we can look in a positive way and find a way to prove it.
Or even ignore it.
Or ignore it entirely. We are making it look at attracting attentions that are not needed.
So blame should go to the handlers.
That's what I'm saying. You understand? So when it comes in terms of international policy, I had expected better, more. And that may have informed why the president, during his reshuffle, he had to bring experiencers like Bianca Ojukwu to foreign affairs. You understand? So if you look at the international policy, it has not been what we expected. You understand? And you look at of course, you can't do foreign affairs without the Minister of Interior. Some of the things that happened there this year.
But he's been to France. He has welcomed the German Chancellor. So there are some positive sides to
the policy. Are you not seeing what is happening in recent days, in recent weeks? Banters with Niger leader, accusing of trying to give a base to French military.
Yes, and trying to undermine them.
You understand that which is a threat. Nobody will. Similar things what caused Russia-Ukraine war. You understand? Certain things that, in terms of, you can't be my brother, and you see somebody that wants to kill me, and I see you hobnobbing with the person. That alone gives a wrong impression.
Yes.
Or could it be the perception of General Chiani that it could also be that the move was to ensure that there's peace. But Chiani misunderstood that. It's possible.
It is a possibility.
Yeah.
But then there are better ways we can do that.
Okay.
You understand? If we look at what has happened in the past, how others have handled similar situations, we can copy from it. You understand? Not generally be seen like Niger, our brothers. You understand? If we shouldn't be seen. If our president have traveled this year 10 times, in 5 out of those 10 times, he will have a stopover at France. Apart from the official trip to that place. There are things we can do better. That does not mean that our relationship with France can be, strained. We can keep it in tight, but use strategy. Be intelligent. Now look at what dollar is doing to our currency. And we have opportunity to join BRICS when they were at this starting point, which would have given us a better international distance to, bargain.
Yeah, better footing.
A better footing. But we didn't do that. Now we are making an attempt to join. We are not joining as the founders now. We are joining as a direct member.
Yes.
Maybe they will look at our markets to consider places or seats to give us. It's not supposed. You see countries like South Africa there. Is South Africa better than Nigeria? You understand? There are certain things we need to be seen being proactive, not reactive. So our international policy has been on a reactive side. We need to be proactive. And being proactive, we need to be courageous. Not everything that goes that we should respond. There are things you can actually ignore and they will die on their own.
Thank you very much for that, comrade. Very, very insightful position you have.
Apologies that I'm coming in. You mentioned a lot of places he traveled. Don't forget that it was this year that he traveled to UAE, and we are informed that travel ban and I don't want to begin to remember a lot of travel ban.
That was last year, I believe, not this
No,
year.
it's 2024.
Wow.
You understand?
Interesting.
We
Earlier
are
in the
yes,
year, yes.
we are informed that we are quick to just release things. That will tell you how they manage things. At the end of the day, Emirates Council deny such a thing. You understand? There are a lot of things that they have not really managed well.
Yeah,
which
consider the time and
we look forward that
Yes.
Because of experiences they have had, they have incurred, they have gathered with some of the things they have done, they can do better 2025.
Yes.
But for me, it has not been a good one for us.
All right. What is like Sugar? You mentioned 18 months of stay.
By moving it from 30 to 70, which to me is very, very poor. You understand? I have expected that if at 70,000 minimum wage, if they can work on economy, let us at least have a bag of rice, less than 50,000 naira. Maybe it can be manageable. Let us have our fuel, sell at least less than 400 naira. It can be manageable. You understand? After all, we can do it. You understand? If crude can produce a lot of items, even if you give out fuel free, you still make gain. And in our energy sector, we have over 450,000 crude that we set up for energy needs in Nigeria, apart from the one they sell international. So why can't we look at how we can ameliorate the suffering of Nigerians by doing things that will be impactful? If, as of today, a bag of rice is over 90,000 to 110, as the case may be, depending on the one you are buying, and you are receiving 70,000 as minimum, what can it take you?
Okay.
You understand?
That brings us to labor-government relationships. It's on labor and how has it been in your?
It has not been good, though. It has not. In fact, that place is an F. Because the relationship has been, it reminds us the days of Obasanjo when they used to beat up our comrade senator up for any encounter. We saw how, yes, Adams Oshomole, you know, we have seen how Joe Ajero has been treated this year. On several occasions. And you saw the way UK Labour and other international labour unions in their own conferences, the way they refer to us. It's part of the international policy. You understand? It's part of the things you use to rate a government. It has not been good. We have seen how they have tried to, trump up charges against this present Labour. The end bad governance or government protest that took place in August. We saw how they tried to link it up with the Labour. Even somebody that's a woman that has been a blessing to this country, that has been schooled, married in this country, how they try to put it up that is sponsoring, financing terrorism and what have you. We saw how the person has been there 6 years before Joe Ajero came on board, has office there. But we see how they try to link it up. There have been a lot of, so the relationship has not been good. Yeah. And I think it affected Labour from the way they are, will I say that they have not been too courageous like Adams or Shomole. There's a level of beating you receive. You use your tongue to catch. So maybe that's what is happening.
A number of strikes and protests and things like that were organized this year. Maybe
how effectful they have not been impactful. The only one that I think shake them is the one that were not organized by the organized labor, yes, which is the protest we saw in August.
No, yes.
You understand? The ones organized by labor, we see how they thwarted it smartly. Sometimes, few hours to commencement, you will hear labor telling you that they have withdrawn. They are giving another days. Some of the things that they promised labor, have they done it? Including ASU. Apart from the minimum wage of 70, the wage award they promise, how many people are still receiving it? Go to state, you will hear stories.
All right. In the outgoing year, we had 2 off-cycle elections. I'm still on the polity now.
Yes.
We had 2 in Edo and Ondo state.
Is it true?
It is not our problem. It is the politicians and those and their supporters. So, how would you describe electioneering?
It has, impression we got when the 2022 Electoral Act was amended and life was given to it. It's not what we are seeing today. Sometimes we have electoral empire on their own. INEC have shown that they can change their goalposts at any time. They will tell you a guideline that the rules of engagement at the end of the day, they will not follow such, and our judiciary, will now give you impression that they are entitled to do that, they have that authority to do that, that you will tell somebody, I will be following this way, at the end of the day, follow another way, and you say he has the right to, it has affected our electoral processes. You understand?
Yes.
Look at the elections done this year. Kogi, Imo, Bayelsa. Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa, we saw how we went. You talk about Edo. I was in Ondo. I was in Edo. I saw what played out. It has not been. You saw overvoting. In the Electoral Act, they make it a criminal offense for you to buy vote, for you to do a lot of things. But the realities we are seeing today, it's happening obviously. And of course, INEC think those things were overwhelming to them. That's why recently they brought out a comprehensive report based on some of the ones we have submitted as a civil society organization that's partners as observers in the elections. They are saying that some of the job given to them need to be split. You understand? They want to concentrate in conducting election,
electioneering, yes,
monitoring of the parties, and fighting against some of the electoral malpractices should be given to another group. You understand? Which is a plus, I think, if we consider it, because some of the things that are happening on election day is very, very embarrassing to say the least. Extremely embarrassing to say the least. I have observed it. There are ones you will see, you don't know how to express yourself. But your job there is only to just observe. And when you observe, you cannot do more than just observe. If maybe we are not just observing, we are also monitoring. Because the only people that can monitor election is people like those in the security agencies. Yes. You understand?
But even at that, that's not their primary role. So that's still like an amendment.
You understand? So we have not really getting to where we want to go. You saw the way the Ghana election went. It's far from what we are doing.
Yes.
You understand? The timeline of announcing election, the process of conducting election. If we can go full digital and be honest with whatever we are doing and stop all these from point A to point B. You collect result from polling unit, you go to ward collection, from ward collection, you go to local government collection. From there, we should stop all those. Once election is conducted at the unit level, it should go to central straight. Because where they manipulate most of these things is at the ward collection area and the local government collection area. They will give you impression at your ward, at your unit, that what you voted is what is seen. But if you do due diligence, and because it's capital intensive and energy sucking,
yes,
you will discover that actually what was pasted in your unit is what was used to count.
All right. Well, there are a number of things this year that we have to touch on, and in all honesty, entire thing is squashed. That's why people come up and make come up with theories that look, in fact, some of these people are politically motivated. That there are political elements who are actually sponsoring them and things like that. What are your thoughts concerning?
I don't think that we can be entirely quashed, because yes, some people are making gains out of it. But then the only way we can say it can be possibly to stop it entirely is when we decentralize a lot of things, allow policies like state policing. You understand? It will certainly help a lot of things. But as of today, it's difficult in the sense that we have a lot of ungoverned areas. And because there are people that benefit from it, and there are international influence in that regards, because they want to keep Nigeria perpetually fighting internally with regard to security in order for them to have their way. You understand? Okay. If we, give more powers to the state or regions, where they manage their resources and run their security, certain things will certainly improve. We can put an end to this insurgency, security, because they know their locals. You can be running your home very well, securing your side. I will not secure my side. But today, everybody is looking at the center. So that's why it makes you look as if, like policing.
State policing now.
Yes, state policing.
State policing.
Oh yes. Yeah. It will reduce more than 80% of security challenges. You can't get somebody from Ekiti to go to Sokoto and work. You understand?
Yes.
What is the person going to do there?
He knows where he's from.
You understand? So if you want to mess up your area, we know. If in fact there are things you will do, you will see the youth, the masses go to your house in the night and knock. So God, this is what you did during the day, no work. Oh.
Yeah.
But now we saw the way they have handled Bello recently. It because our thief is better than the other thief. You understand?
How do you mean?
It was here in this country that a body was indicted by previous EFCC. They went to court and they cleared him. The same body go to UK. He was convicted.
Yeah.
If Ekweremadu were to be in this country, do you think that he will be convicted? There are certain things we need to.
But then that may also be as a result of the laws. You know, the laws there.
We have the laws here.
Different.
We have the laws here, but then our laws here is just like animal farm. Some animals are more equal than the other. You understand? There are things. Take for example, December alone, we have people who die of a stampede in Abuja,
yes,
in Anambra,
yes,
in Ibadan. The same treatment that was meted to those in Ibadan, is it the same thing that was meted to those in Abuja?
No. But
or Anambra?
No, but in that case, no, comrade, in that case, the circumstances were different. In Abuja...
Stampede is stampede.
No, now, wait, comrade, no, wait.
No,
okay. No, the circumstances were different.
Did people die because of rice?
No, see, that's the thing. In Ibadan, it was not because of rice, it was a concert.
No, it's food.
No.
It's food. In fact, the former queen or thereabout was asked, can she feed more than 5,000, 1,000, the case may be. She admitted that she can feed up to 2,000. They have been doing it before.
Okay.
You understand? So people die because of food.
Okay. Food was part of that whole concert.
The concert is not just to come and dance and enjoy yourself. The major thing there is food.
They were sharing. Okay, interesting.
That's why people slept over. What kind of show you are going for that you will sleep? It's food now. Let us not confuse even the learned.
Okay.
You understand? So, what was... Okay, let's leave issue of food.
Okay.
Sunday Igboho is a promoter of secession. Just like Nnamdi Kanu. Is it the same treatment? So there are in this area, in this country we have. Just yesterday we saw a video of Dele almost crying, saying that because people spoke for him, Nigeria did not happen to him. But that's the reality.
Okay, Dele followed to me, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
He cried on a video. But that's the reality. If everybody mind their business, they didn't intervene, and they leave him and the Baba. Honestly speaking, that guy go there till